I said there are 6 major steps for the MSMEs. The first one, there is a collateral-free automatic loan for MSMEs which is being provided. This will give facility up to 3 lakh crores. 25 crore outstanding for those MSME units for whom 25 crore is the outstanding loan, or 100 crores whose turnover is, will benefit from this. These loans will have a 4-year tenure, and there will be a moratorium given for 12 months. These are going to be 100% credit guaranteed over as a cover given to banks and NBFCs on principal and interest. So this is going to be available till 31st October 2020. There are no guarantee fees, no fresh collaterals required. So I guess this will benefit 45 lakh units so that they can resume their business activity and also safeguard jobs. I just moved to the next one, which is about a 20,000 crores subordinate debt proposition which we are bringing. If the earlier one, which was just now explained by the MOS, was for standard MSMEs who, because of lockdown, couldn't move forward because they didn't have money, they didn't have cash coming in. So for buying raw materials or paying the wages, if they had a problem, you had that emergency credit line which we spoke about just a minute ago. Now I come to talking about subordinate debt through which we want to infuse about 20,000 crores. These are meant for stressed MSMEs. So if you're providing for the standard, you're now providing for the stressed MSMEs. Now the stressed MSMEs do have a problem of equity. So for them, through a subordinate debt provision, we want to provide about 20,000 crore liquidity. 2 lakh MSMEs are likely to benefit from this. The functioning of the MSMEs which are NPA or are stressed, all of them will be eligible. For this subordinate debt-based scheme, NPAs or stressed MSMEs will all be eligible for this. The government will be providing about a 4,000 crore as its contribution to the MSE, the Credit Guarantee Trust, and they will be then able to provide the partial credit guarantee support to the banks, as a result of which stressed and NPA MSMEs will immediately benefit. The next of the MSME-linked steps that we are taking, this is the third. There is a fund being created for infusing about 50,000 crore as equity into the MSMEs. This will benefit those MSMEs who have the potential and who are viable. So we spoke about those who are standard, we spoke about those who are NPAs and stressed. Now I'm talking about MSMEs who may be doing viable business and who need hand-holding because of the situation thanks to the COVID. So this fund with a corpus of 10,000 crores through mother fund and daughter fund framework will be able to provide the growth potential MSMEs greater support, and this we think will help MSMEs to expand their capacities, and this will also encourage them eventually to get listed in the markets which they can choose. The next one is something which all of us have been waiting for a long time, about the definition of MSMEs. I'm sure you heard from several sources that this discussion has been going on. We have now come to a stage where we can happily announce that the definition is being changed in favor of the MSMEs. Because there was always this fear in very successful MSMEs also, that if they outgrow the size of what is defined as an MSME, they lose the benefits that they get as an MSME itself. So outgrowing this definition meant outgrowing and going out of receiving benefits. Therefore, MSMEs preferred to remain within the definition rather than grow. Now what we are coming with is a change in the definition of MSME so that they need not worry about growing in size. They will still be able to get quite a lot of benefits which otherwise, as an MSME, they had got. So now how do we change it? I told you why we are changing the definition. How are the changes being brought about? What exactly is the change which is coming in? The change is that investment limit which defined an MSME is being revised upwards. So you can be a slightly more larger invested company, but you're still going to be considered only as an MSME. And then I'll come to the amounts which is shown in the chart there. But the idea is, even with an increased investment, you'll still be defined only as an MSME. You shall not get out of the benefit which is given to you as an MSME. Second is, additional criteria to define an MSME is being brought in. And that criteria is based on turnover. So that is being brought in newly now. Earlier it was only investment size. Now investment size and or additional turnover size is being brought in. And earlier, the distinction which prevailed between manufacturing unit, and therefore their definition was on slightly different account. Service units, their definition was on slightly different criteria. Now that differentiation between manufacturing and service MSME are being removed. Manufacturing MSME or service-based MSME shall all be defined similarly. And then, therefore, the chart that is there before you will tell you what was earlier and what is now. What was earlier defined with an investment of 25 lakh as micro unit will now have investment allowed till 1 crore. So they'll still be called a micro unit even if the investment is up to 1 crore. Now, in that, service investments of 10 lakhs were called as micro earlier. Now, because the distinction is removed, service also will have the benefit of being called a micro unit even if the investment is 1 crore. Over and above it, I did say that in addition to investment as a definitional criteria, we are bringing in the criteria of turnover also. So now your investment can be up to 1 crore and your turnover can be up to 5 crore. You shall be called as micro. This or that. Your investment can be 1 crore and your turnover can be 5 crore. Up to 5 crore, you will be micro enterprise. And so on. So small will be up to 5 crore, manufacturing enterprise. Services was up to 2 crore. Now the definition is changed to 10 crores and 50 crores. Investment and turnover, and so on. The table explains it. I move to the fifth step in the MSMEs. I said total 6 measures have been are getting announced today. Of the 6, the fifth one is that for government procurement, tenders up to 200 crores will no longer be on global tender route, meaning global tenders will be disallowed in government procurement for tenders up to 200 crores. Why is this being done? Majority of the MSMEs in India were unable to supply those big mother units, as you may call, big, large companies, who they were serving all the while. Suddenly the conditions became, based on the global tenders, unmatchable by our MSMEs. So they were disqualified from supplying to companies for whom they actually grew as ancillary units. As a result, many of our MSMEs were not anymore able to participate in supplying products to many of these large units. So by bringing this condition now, we are saying for global tenders worth 200 crores or less, particularly for government procurement. They need not be global tenders at all. So this will make MSMEs do their business with a lot more confidence and carry on with it. Self-reliant India will also then be able to serve Make in India, because small units can now be participant in government purchases. The sixth step towards MSMEs is post-COVID, trade fairs, exhibitions are going to be very difficult. So we shall ensure that e-market linkage is provided across the board for all these MSMEs so that they're able to find their market easily in the absence of being able to participate in trade fairs which cannot be held in this environment. Also, very importantly, Government of India and also CPSEs, where there are receivables by MSMEs, we now announce that within the next 45 days, all their receivables will be cleared. The CPSEs and Government of India will honor every MSME receivable within the next 45 days.